Okay, so I cannot disclose the details of every person's compensation as much as I would like to. I've been specifically asked by certain team members to not disclose how much they're being compensated, which I absolutely want to respect. And so I can't disclose individual compensation. So here's what I can, and that's okay. Like I respect, they're entitled to their privacy. That's fine. Everyone on Team Maria is extremely happy with their compensation plan. And that's the first thing I'll say is like, everyone is very happy with their compensation plan. Over the years, we've realized that it's much easier to have a smaller team that's very talented. So I have, with the 2 new hires, obviously I'm seeing like a labor increase that you'll probably see reflected on the reports and stuff. And we also had to change, like, because we started doing bonuses for certain team members based on profit. So if you are one of my like crazy fans and you read everything I put out, you'll notice a big difference in the compensation category of the P&L sheet that I publish. And so you'll be like, whoa, it jumps a lot. It's because certain longer standing team members are getting compensated now based on bonus. So they're getting some bonus payouts every month. So that obviously makes my labor costs go up. We also brought on 2 other people and some people got raises. So we had a big increase in labor in the last like month, 2 months, big increase. But we also like have jumped dramatically in revenue. So that's fine. We were paying the same amount up until, and I'm saying all of that because I want to say this next thing, which is if you go over the income reports that I've published now for years, our labor basically stayed the same. When we were having 30 people, it was slightly more when we were having 30 people to now where we had like 4 or 5 people. So same labor costs, 4 to 5 heads instead of 30 heads. What does that mean? It means that we have realized it is much easier to have a smaller, much higher paid team that gets way more done. Much better, much less hand-holding, certainly less meetings. That's what we've learned. And so give yourself permission to, like, it took us time to realize that. And so what I don't want you to do is like, oh my gosh, I have to pay someone $60,000, $100,000 full-time with benefits right out of the gate. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, how do I want to say this? It's like everyone is paid very, very well, but we're really, really good at structuring their roles. So it's a win for everyone. It's a win for me and it's a win for them. Everyone's happy. The other thing I've had to realize is that a lot of benefits aren't, I'm so money focused, that's just my nature. I'm very naturally revenue driven, personal income driven, that I forget that there are other benefits to working for companies that I wouldn't think about. For example, the fact that I don't micromanage is a benefit. The fact that everyone can work their own hours, travel whenever they want to, as long as they get their work in. I don't care. Why would I care? But a lot of people do. That's the thing. Is like, I'm like over here, like, that's obvious. But like, if people have the choice to make this much amount of money or this much amount of money, and the only difference is a boss that doesn't care where they are, as long as the work gets done, obviously they're going to come work for me. So, I think the most important thing is like looking at, like, if we pull back my org chart back up, just to like, again, it's like hard for me to even like go into this without being able to explain. But I want, that is creepy. I want to like respect my teammates' privacy. So I want to be mindful, but let me just say this, like, each one of the people in these roles are very happy with their compensation. They're also very happy with how the other additional benefits and bonus payouts that we offer. And the thing that surprised me is it's also a really big deal to them, the other things like the time flexibility or the way I lead, not as a micromanager. And so every person that's been on in an important full-time role has been here for 5 years or more. Juliet, will likely be here for 5 years. I can just tell. Same thing with Sophia, not going anywhere. And then these part-time people have also been here for 2 years. No, 3 years in August. So this is longevity. These are the only people we've hired, and then there's no turnover. That speaks to, I think, the compensation. That's the point that I'm trying to say without saying actual numbers, is that every person on here is still on here, happy and thriving. And I've learned, and yet I consider it like I'm getting my money's worth and then some, right? Like I'm benefiting too. They're making me a lot of money. They're contributing to a lot of the impact I have. I'm super happy too. That's the thing, is like we're all winning here. They're very happy with their compensation and the structure and everything. I'm super happy with what I'm making from this. So it's a win-win. And that is what I want to say on compensation, is that give yourself permission and give yourself space to find the win-win, and know that it doesn't come right away. There's probably some mistakes. There's probably there's going to be some learning experiences. I don't think it's realistic for you to like try to nail it out of the gate. Just consider that it's much easier to have a smaller, more talented team, and the compensation can be creative based on the specific projects you have to do. So hopefully that gave you food for thought. I know it's not as practical as I normally like it to be, but I'm limited by what I can say to be mindful. I'll say this: they're paid slightly more than market. That I can say. They're paid slightly more than market value for the roles they do, but keep in mind, they're not quite full time. So they have other clients and have other sources of revenue. So keeping that in mind as well. And keep in mind the bonus thing as well, like the new bonus structure. That's like a new thing. They were here before that, is my point. So how can I tie a bow on this? You would be surprised what people will be really happy with if you just offer. You should always make the first offer, in my opinion, which I know is counterintuitive, but that's just what I do. Hey, can I pay you X to do this? This is what I'm thinking. What do you think? That's always worked really well for me. So you'd be surprised. You just need to send messages, and kind of like I talked about with the personal chef, where I was just like, hey, like, this is what I need. What do you think? You'd be surprised.